Okay, today we are at Autrey Mill Park. It's a little bit different park, but it does have natural trails. We're going to take the outer loop trail, so you can see on this map, we're starting right here. So we're going to work our way down and around and then jump on this trail to then come back in. According to AllTrails, it looks like there's another trail right here leading up, but we'll find the best pathway. So out on the red, connecting to the orange, around, back, check the red out, maybe come back and close out on the green so we can complete the trails for today. Appears to be a nice natural trail right in the heart of Gwinnett County. You can see the park rules, and it also has some buildings, so they run tours out here as well. We'll learn a little bit more about that, but right now we're going to get started on the trail. Okay, so it looks like we're right at the starting point, and there's the trail opening right here. You see, this one's called the Tenant House. Don't know what that is, but we'll take a look at this either on this edition or when we follow back up. So this also gives you a welcome to the park and the trail, and then hikes that are available. They have their own trail map, which is cool. And they also provide maps. So you could borrow it and then bring it back. So if you don't have your own mapping software, which we have, you can come borrow one and go out from here, and then you can also rent the buildings. All right, this is interesting. And they identified the trees on this path. So today we're doing just it's just great signage, marking. There's a pavilion over here, one to hold events. Great marking. So this appears to be a well-marked trail. Not surprised out in Gwinnett County to find a well-marked trail. So let's see where this leads us. Didn't see another trail leading out this way. According to the map, this would be the way to go to get to the trail, which is actually a little different from what's listed in AllTrails. So it's going to be an interesting one to follow, because right now in the AllTrails, I'm off the trail. I'm kind of cutting across to what they have marked as the start of the trail, or as a part of the trail. So we'll see how closely we line up at the end. Nice incline, see, well maintained, nice wide paths. I'm out kind of middle of the day, late afternoon. I see it. Okay, little bridge point. So this is probably that pathway that leads us back in. We'll check this on our way back in, but it heads back to the buildings. If we went to the right from the direction we're traveling, we're going to keep going down the path. And now I should be back on the marked trail. Yeah, still off the marked trail. This is really interesting. But you see, this particular park is in the middle of the community. Maybe they wanted me to come up and then come back down. We'll pause because here's another connector. Yeah, still not lining up with the map. Very interesting. So we'll discover what this park has to offer as we travel the trail. Yeah, they must even clear the trail, because you'll notice there's no leaves on the trail. The leaves are down here, leaves are up here, but on the trail, very few. So in my prep, in my pack, keep some sunglasses because as you can see today, nice, bright, clear, sunny day. And you can also see from the trail, you can see the houses just up here. So right up top, and this trail's in the middle of a neighborhood. And here comes a trailhead. So we can either go to the left or to the right. I think the right is that last little loop for the trail. This is really interesting. So this looks like it would loop back up and take us back to where we were. I'm interested to find out how far off all trails is from the map trail. So I'm going to follow this one today, and we will come back to our main trail. Plus I get one more incline in. This is a shorter trail. I think it's under 2 miles in total length if you combine everything together. One part's 0.9, the other part is 1.1. And this is definitely an incline. So we had the option to come up from the top when we were closer to it. But we're taking the steps up. Now I wish I'd brought my poles. But now we're heading back in the direction that we parked. So you can see houses are now over to our left. And in front of us, that's incredible, man. Back up to a park. Yeah. So you get to the top of the hill. Now we're working our way back down. But again, everything's clear over here too. This is so very interesting. And we're working our way back up. So we're back at the buildings now. Nice that they break them up in the steps. That made it a heck of a lot easier. And this looks like it's another pavilion directly ahead. This is the church. So we gotta find out where the trail reconnects. That's the all trail. Notice that I'm off the trail. So, old church here, Warsaw Church. See if this gets us back on the trail. Nope. So we're looking for any markings of a trailhead. And I don't clearly see it. So we'll hike our way back and come back down closer to where we started. Okay. All right. So a little bit different over here. Still no trailhead, but you get to see more of the park. Oh, you know, on that side directly across is a lake. Visitor center, another large pavilion. Nature classroom, summer hour house. There's the visitor center. You can see everything that's there, hiking trails, either direction, and pole barn, everything. And there's my trail entrance. Right off the pole barn. That's the farm museum. All right, back on track. So I just went up that hill directly in front of us. These cross paths that I saw. There we go. Miller's Trail. Then connects back in over here. The trail I was on. Should look really interesting when we get back on Autrey Trail. Little statue. All right, let's go. Oh, I see. There's a trail, or at least something that leads to a marker. So what it's saying is maybe this. It's a very interesting one. Very well marked. You can see this is not as clear as that. But there is a trail leading down and around. The way I went was up top and around. We'll follow it. Looks like they're saying this is a trail. Because the trail I was on is directly over here. I definitely would have missed that had I not looped back around. Gotta watch out for the roots, a few rocks. But again, tell you about every tree almost every tree you're encountering. And a quick sign, so this trail must be closed off now. That's generally what that would indicate. Okay, that trail looks like it's in much better condition. This one will take me over the bridge and connect back down to the lower trail. So let's take this. Very interesting. Also why that trail probably wasn't clear. And this one is. All right, so that one is 2 parking. So we followed this and went to our right. That would take us back to the parking lot. We're heading down to that's the outer loop over there. And we're gonna go to Creekside down here. And we can see the creek right in front of us. Very small creek. You can see it there. See it there. We haven't had a lot of rain recently. Okay. This is really, really interesting. Because apparently on all trails, they're identifying that there was another lower loop, but we see no other trail. And then I can see where I am, creek side, out and back. All right, so this makes sense. So according to all trails, if I go right, it's a straight up and a back, and then I come back to the loop. We're doing good on time, and that apparently is the creek down here. That was just a feeder, probably off of or to that creek. You can hear more water running there. And this is January. 2026 is off to a fantastic start. Weather, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. This trail's conditions are fantastic. Always, we're gonna see some fallen trees. Now, where I am creekside, I'm cutting directly in between two neighborhoods. So one to my left, and then one up the hill to my right. All right. So I think this is the end. And that's where the feeder to the creek comes off the neighborhood up here, down to the creek there. No clear trail down to the creek. We're going to continue our hike by hiking back the way we came. But nice and quiet over here. So when you're hiking and just wanted to get away, get a break, it's a great area to come to. And here we are coming back to the intersecting trail. Remember when we started, we came from the left. That's where the parking lot is. We're gonna head to the right and continue around this trail, which is literally like a bowl in the middle of the neighborhoods and a lake over to the other side. Just great to have right here in Gwinnett. All right. A little bit closer to the creek. Let's go check it out. Okay, not a bad looking creek. A lot of movement. All right, back on the trail. Continuing on right. Okay, nice little makeshift bridge. Oh, red maple. creek still over to our right. And we're definitely creekside now. See how the borders of the park border right up against the properties right across the stream. So they have to fence it off. A little more of the creek. There was a birdhouse up there. Not really sure. And there is the sign right in front of us. Looks like a little bit of a warning. I see some mud around it. Nice little tree. Don't know. Recommend trying to cross with it. The down tree right across the river. Ah, mud. Loblolly Pond. Wow. All right, so even the markings on the mud are here. It's fantastic. So we'll just find our pathway through. Again, we have our waterproof gear on. Nice little tree stump. And it looks like it just feeds right through, heading to the low-lying area, which is a creek. Ooh. Okay, let's find another spot to step. Yeah, and this is another good reason for having dedicated hiking shoes, because if you had your main shoes on, they pretty much could get ruined. Yeah, great. Oh wow. And once again, deer directly in front. I don't think one spotted me. The other one did not. And they must know about this area, because they're still there. Oh yeah, it's all wet all the way through. Deer must be used to the humans. Because he's not running. He knows, for the most part, I'm not coming to him. I'm trying to find my way out. Now, this is interesting. They've got these tree stumps that you can use as kind of a guide to get through. And this one, kind of an old log. And there we have it. And I'm through to the other side. Okay, so what did we just encounter here? All right, so if I turn to the left, that'll take me into the inner loop back around. We're gonna finish this outer looping around and go ahead and close this off. So apparently that I would say this would be probably closed off. You can see the caution tape blocking it off. So if you take it, inner loop is available. Outer loop, based on the map provided by All Trails, is kind of questionable. And then again, directly through the woods, you can see the deer. Okay. So, trail returns back to a much better form, less water. Very level on this part. Tell they must get water throughout. There's an easement. So for this power line, it's running straight through. You probably use that to cut back if you need to get directly back to the building, because most likely that power line is going to those collection of buildings we saw. Yeah, more tree signs. Sweet Bay. Eastern red cedar. No leaves, so hard to make out what their leaf types are. Right over there is a kind of like a blind shed where you could go. Now this clearly looks like another path. So this looks like a shortcut that you could cut through to get to the returning path. We're going to continue on. As we head this way, sounds like we're getting much closer to a main roadway. We hear more road sounds down here than I heard back in the neighborhood. Definitely a nice little place to hang out. And you can just take a look at nature while you're out here. There's no markings, no bridge to get across. So you'd have to find a way to cross that creek. All right, here's the split. I believe the outer is going to be here. This may be a loop. And it is. So back there where I indicated that first trail, so back this way where we saw that crossing trail, that was what they consider a part of the loop. This one bridges off and ends at the roadway to the right. The other one, we'll take both. This one's going to wrap us around and connect us back in. So it's a great trail. We're at about a mile, a little over a mile, 1.08 miles into the hike. I am taking my time and exploring. So my time on this hike is taking longer than I normally would when I'm just out hiking. That's because there's a lot to explore. And it looks like, based on these steps, that people do cross the creek. So there's a series of steps on the other side. These steps to these stones, water's not too deep. Probably take that little board and then walk your way up, and then you can get over to that blind over there to just sit out and enjoy. And I'm not sure that's park property or not. Don't see any signs indicating private property. But here's a trail that we can continue on and see where this takes us. This one actually on the map said it dead ends, but it connects. And that looks like the end of the trail. All right, here we go. This is... So this looks like it did continue. You can see the markings. And for all maps, we're gonna clear our direction as not being on for the rest of the trail. All right, so most likely, and from what I can tell from the map indicators, this trail continued onward and looped around, and you see red cones on that side, basically indicating it's probably a hazard. So we'll just go check it out. There are no signs indicating the trail is closed. And then that trail that dead ended was actually where I was at the water at the steps, but I walked across. Kind of crossed the creek. So this one takes us out by the water, by the roadway. The creek is right over here to our right. This little bridge. No indication of why that's up there, but you can see a lot of down logs back on this side, or trees back on this side that have not been cleared. And you see how well maintained the trail is, so they may have that not identified for that reason, give them time to get it back up to speed. So we're at another trail juncture. And on my map, this inner trail that leads back does not exist. This one shows up on all trails. This one in this direction does not. So that's left, heading back towards the creek, back to the buildings. This is straight, heading to the entryway and heading back up towards the parking lot. Just so we can close this part out, we'll go up here. There's an intersecting trail that'll take us down. This will give us another incline. So it appears there have been some significant changes to the trails out here. And this is the first pavilion we encountered as we were driving in. Very nice. Wouldn't expect anything less for this particular trail. Okay, two choices. Continue on the outer side, walk along the pavilion and continue up. That'll connect us back to the main trail, weave our way down, kind of hit the inner and come back around. So we're gonna go down so we can check some more of the nature out in this park. We're 1.31 miles in this exploratory hike. First time out here at Autrey Mill. Definitely won't be the last. This has all the makings of a great trail for a good hike with some inclines, windy trails. Got another person on the trail with a rather large dog. Great bridges. This out of the crate bridge or the pallet bridge. This one looks relatively new, great condition. And that appears to be another pathway. Let's double check. This pathway is the actual pathway marked on all trails. So if I were to go down, that would take me back to the creek side. And then from here, it's saying if I go just a little further, there's going to be another trailway heading up. So we've already been down there, but you'll notice some of these trails are not marked. You can just look for the signs for the trees, and that'll give you an indicator. Now we're looking for this next trail. Yeah, but according to all trails, there was right where we were was another trail leading up, just not as well marked or cleared like this one. Okay. All right. So we're cutting back in. So we're no longer on the outer loop. We're what I believe to be on the inner loop, running right through the middle of the park. More down trees. Okay. Remember when we talked about this right of way? So you can see, if we keep straight, we'll go to the parking. But if we needed a fast way to get up there, remember when we were down low, we saw the overhead line running up and all the way up. So this is a fast way to get up to the top. And this is actually captured on the map. So it kind of runs away from the creek all the way up to the top. And we're gonna reconnect with the loop just coming through here. All right, we are at a split in the trail. Oh wow, what is this? Just noticed the sign right up here. So got a trash area right here on the trail. So a lot of people must use this to get straight down to the creek. And when you get to this point, you can measure your wingspan. So great blue heron, 6-foot wingspan. That's my height. Canadian goose, 5'2". Then it goes down to red-tailed hawk, mallard, and then the brown thrasher, which is the Georgia state bird, being the smallest. So So great information. I don't see any other signs. We'll head back to the trail. This is good to know. But apparently if you hike down this way, they don't want you continuing on down through there, which is why they have that blocked off. All right, which pathway? All right, so this one will lead me back up. This is gonna lead me to Creekside and the way we've already come. So we are going to go this way. And they reconnect once again right around the trees. But again, to our left, Creekside, to our right, back up towards parking and back through the middle of the park. Much quieter as we move away from that roadway. Yeah, looks like another path. We can continue on this clear path all the way out. Nice little bowl down there, probably where a lot of water builds up before it goes to the creek or overflows from the creek. Huh, another bridge. And again, these bridges look relatively new, in great condition. You can see how the water flowing from the high point flows straight down to that creek. So it's great to have these bridges to be able to continue to hike. All right, so this clearly is another path. Well, not clearly, but looks like another pathway. Let's recenter. And it looks like it is. So we can keep straight, connect on the pathway, or I'll go up this way. And this also will connect me. Looks like it would connect me back up. Not as clear. I could see a sign through the trees further up, and the makings of a path leading up to it. See where this takes us, because I want to see what the differences are. Yeah, straight on up. Oh, I'll get to the sign right from here. All right, so two choices. One, back to the parking to my left. And let's recenter. Back to the parking where I've already come in through, or go this way to get to the outer loop, which will take me back up to the parking as well. And it looks like I'm gonna need to take this one to the outer loop, because the outer loop will take me closer to where my vehicle is parked. So again, they had signs up. Looks like they closed that trail off and they left it covered so you could take the regular trail. That looks like the makings of another trail leading up. Not marked. We do have a pole position right in the middle of the trail. Maybe they're allowing regrowth to occur on the trail, which is why they want people to stay off. But in order to get where I'm going, I'm going to follow this loop around on the clear trail. This trail has a lot of surprises for you. And if you're adventurous, some good off clear trail hikes to take you through the park. You can see the buildings for Autrey Mill Park right in front of us. Yep, that definitely wasn't on the trail. So everywhere we're encountering these poles centered in the middle of a pathway, looks like the original trail markers that were captured on all trails. And now they have this main clear pathway. None of the signs indicate that you cannot travel on those trails. They're just not cleared like this one. And the trail marker is directly, or post is directly in the center, most likely serving as some form of a warning. All right, so where we got started is up here. Where we're going, based on this loop, is taking us away and around. So, and I can see the makings of a pathway through, but let's see how far off we would be. Okay, got it. Well, looks like I'm gonna get to that outer trail after all. When I get on a trail and have an opportunity to hike, unless it's late in the day, it's one of my first times on the trail. I like to explore as much of the trail as I can, get a sense for the trail, inclines, declines, crossings, wildlife. So today, while I have some available time, I'm covering more of the trail. My overall time on trail will be longer because I stopped quite a bit just to reset myself, understand where I am on the trail in comparison to maps, and to observe what is around. And apparently, dog lovers take advantage of this trail quite a bit, as we see 4 dogs right here. And we'll cut up. How you doing? Oh wow, these labs are huge. All right. So we ended up back on that right-of-way trail. You see the pole right above us. And, oh wow, it's a good way to cut across and out. Yeah, all gravel at this point. Spirit of my father-in-law's grandfather. It leaves some for the next time as it relates to the trail. Look to get out here a little earlier so we can explore more of the outer, different routes on the inner. overall, this is fantastic. Yeah, there's our trail that we started off on to the left. We come out on the right or left. And there you see the sign for tenant house, all the buildings in the park, restrooms directly ahead, everything except for some of the trails well marked. But you can see we covered a lot more than what's shown on this map. But still a great map, great trail, great opportunities to see even more. And they do guided trail hikes on Fridays. So we'll look to participate in one of those coming forward. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you get outside. Do something outdoors. If you have a park nearby, get to the park. Enjoy all the moments that you have. TEMOJA.